Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another ranking. And I'm going to be ranking yet another summer blockbuster franchise in Jaws. What started off as a simple story of a man-eating shark terrorizing a small town soon exploded into a globally known, universally adored, multi-billion-dollar franchise. And you all know that is total bullshit. Ugh, what happened to these movies? Before we get into the actual ranking, I just wanted to mention that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my ranking videos. So be sure to check that out and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so, with all that being said, let's hop right into things. Number 4, Jaws: The Revenge. This is easily one of the worst sequels of all time. Ah hell, what am I saying? This is just downright one of the worst movies of all time in general. Critics hated it, audiences hated it, even its own cast hated it. With star Michael Caine famously saying in an interview, "I have never seen it, but by all counts it is terrible. However, I have seen the house that it built, and it is terrific." Top to bottom, this movie is just awful. The story is hilariously and notoriously stupid. The writing is cringeworthy, the sets and effects are cheap and cheesy. I mean, this movie made Lorraine Gary retire from acting, for crying out loud. If you are lucky enough to have never seen this movie, do yourself the favor and let it drown. Number 3, Jaws 3D. And just barely an improvement on its successor is Jaws 3D. And for almost all of the same reasons. A mind-numbing, paper-thin plot, wooden acting, and below subpar effects. I mean, there are virtually no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It tried so desperately hard to capitalize on the 3D craze of the early to mid-80s, like Friday the 13th Part 3, and it went just about as well as all of the other movies that tried to hop on this craze. Piss poor. Number 2, Jaws 2. This has gone down and will forever go down as one of the most disappointing direct sequels of all time. Gone was the magic that director Steven Spielberg instilled in almost all of his movies. He has stated that he didn't even respond to producers when they approached him to direct this sequel for a variety of reasons. 1, because he felt he had already created the definitive shark movie. 2, because he stated that making sequels is just a cheap, carny trick. And 3, because he had such a miserable time on set with the countless production issues of the first one. And the only returning actor of the big 3 from the first one was Roy Schneider, who only did it because he had his arm twisted into doing so in order to complete and be free from his contract with Universal, after leaving the production of The Deer Hunter, which I might add went on to be universally praised and won 5 Oscars. He also reportedly frequently clashed with the film's director. Although the film isn't completely a lost cause, because you can still get through it without having an utterly miserable time. But if you do decide to watch it, do yourself the favor and don't even attempt to compare it to its predecessor. And number 1 is, of course, Jaws. A masterpiece, one of Spielberg's best, the definitive, undisputed best shark movie of all time, considered to be the first ever summer blockbuster, and one of the most iconic movies in film history. Despite the set being plagued with production issues, the movie came out nearly flawless. A simplistic yet masterfully told story, phenomenal acting from our 3 main leads, brilliant writing, an unforgettable score, and a terrifying creature that has made millions all across the world afraid to go into the water to this very day. The impact of this movie should never be understated. It truly is a one-of-a-kind, and a once-in-a-lifetime flick that very clearly could never be replicated. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my ranking. And feel free to let me know what ranking you'd like to see next. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.